So how can a man love multiple wives? I would posit to say the same way that he can love 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 children. One of the things about love is it's expansive. When was the last time that you were like, you know what? I'm all loved up. I have no more love to give. See a movie, see a pet, see another relative or a new baby born. It was like, oh, shucks. My little cousin was just born. She's like 3 weeks old and you're brand new. It's like, no more love.
Warning, viewer discretion is advised. The content, views, and educational material you are about to experience could challenge your belief, trigger strong emotions, and frankly, piss you off. This isn't for everyone. If you're not ready to confront new ideas, or if your feelings bruise easily, this might be the time to click away. Expect to be challenged, to think, and you might even want to scream at the screen. Proceed with caution, and remember, you chose to be here. Let's get it.
Aisha M says, wanting and taking care of 4 wives are 2 different things. You can want as many as you want. You can want more than that. All right, you can absolutely want and desire. That's cool. But actually taking advantage of the responsibilities and requirements is not something easy if you want to do it well and be healthy. I'm not talking about struggling and all that kind of stuff. All right. But to be able to do it, are you 4 times the man? Because right now it looks like you're single. And you're single, you can wish all day. There's a difference between wishing and winning. So really manning up is the difference. All right. So that part is important. You can want it all day. If that's going to lead you to become ambitious, do what you need to do to grow in the drive, you have the resources together, working yourself emotionally and stuff like that. Make sure that you're a quality man. Man, absolutely. Put it as a goal. Let's go for it. And then once you get 2 and get tested with those different dynamics, then we'll see how you work with 3 and then 4, inshallah. Wanting to take care. All right. Daughter's the most high. She says not a lot of resource for the Israelite community either. Okay, back to that. Our community leaders are felonists, right? So whether that is in the Israeli or the Hebrew community, definitely not the Israeli community. Anyway, yeah. And whether it's in the Hebrew community, Muslim community, especially Christian community as well, they may try to say all day against polygyny, but I don't care if you're talking about your leaders. Like I mentioned, I was a Lutheran, raised up knowing 99 Theses of Martin Luther, and whether you know facts about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., people love him and all that kind of stuff. He got statues and all that kind of, but he also had plenty of women, for real. You know what I'm saying? But polygyny just wasn't a thing. Not that he was looking for polygyny, but he had plenty of women. But polygyny makes it something honorable to have wives and take care of them and what comes from them, these children, versus birthing bastards, which has always been looked at, even with the term bastard, meaning a child is born out of wedlock, if you will, as something dishonorable, something that is not noble, right? But it's bringing back again that shame and that honor to live at a different level. So what I mean by they failed us is that when you only talk about monogamy, you talk about, oh, well, the law of the land doesn't say this or that, or, well, you know, we can't marry. Like what? Like what parts of the blessings of your Lord will you deny? So if we know that Shaitan's biggest thing is to break up a family, biggest, most cherished deed is to break up a family, what about when you put walls up to prevent families from even coming together? Is that kind of on his plan there somewhere? So they'll tell us the rules and regulations of it, like, okay, well, the time and the money and so on. But when it comes to the practical application, how to really deal with it, how to set different structures and things in play, then all of a sudden they're just blind on it. Though many Muslim leaders have, you know, second, third marriages and wives and stuff like that in the shadows. And again, that's their business. They don't need to necessarily put things out there publicly. But at the same time, you're trying to diminish it and sit with people like, oh, well, that's just during wartime, or, you know, Islam really doesn't really encourage that, and you apologize for stuff. This ain't that deemed to apologize. Islam is revolutionary. The entire Shahada to begin with starts with getting rid of taboo. It starts with the la. So the la ilaha illallah, I mean, that's a whole different level, but I'm just saying that's why you can't change it. You're not going to change it no matter what. You'll be replaced first before you try to replace some ayat. So you can try to apologize and all this type of thing, but the reality is until you're able to get rid of all testosterone from men or bring it down 10 levels so they can be equal to a woman, a man is not a woman. He's not simply a woman with a penis, and a woman is not simply a man with a vagina. All right, we are different. We're complementary. We need each other. But polygyny is simply a form of marriage, as is monogamy. And we are pro-morals. So for those who want to be more, want to do more, want to become more, whether that is family, whether that is women, whether that is resources and assets and so on and so forth, polygyny is likely the moral solution.
You're already on our channel and you see how we are empowering people when it comes to polygamy education. You may be wondering, what's the next step? Especially knowing that we are the authors of the book,
Let's Talk Polygamy Uncensored. If you want to get off the emotional roller coaster, whether it's jealousy, insecurity, frustration, anger, maybe even guilt in some cases, you're going to want to pick up this book.
Definitely wish I would have had this book back a while ago when we first embarked on polygyny. And you will learn a lot of things about minding your marriage and what that actually means. So you're not comparing your marriage to your co-wives or anybody else's for that matter.
If you've heard, I'm not against polygamy, I just against when it's not done right, you want to learn how to do it right, this will teach you how to be more than twice the man you need to be to get it done. Let's talk polygamy.com. We look forward to shipping yours off to you.
All right. It allows the man to continue being the leader versus being weakened and having sex weaponized against him, which tends to happen quite a bit, especially with the shame and with the guilt that goes on, that many men feel like they have this internal pull and struggle about really had this desire for polygyny, but now society's going to look at me in a certain way as though you chasing your lust and how come one's not enough or she's just not enough and all this kind of stuff. So yeah, that's a lot there. Now, somebody did ask over here, I'll let you know, got to go to YouTube, but I did see it before it scrolled on by. She said, how can a man actually love 3 or 4 wives? So that was the question. So how can a man love multiple wives? I would posit to say the same way that he can love 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 children. One of the things about love is it's expansive. When was the last time that you were like, you know what? I'm all loved up. I have no more love to give. See a movie, see a pet, see another relative or a new baby born. It was like, oh, shucks. My little cousin was just born. She's like 3 weeks old and you're brand new. It's like, no more love. You know what I'm saying? Like, I've been loving for so long. Love is expansive. All right. And don't mistake the length of a relationship or love for the strength of relationship or love. You could have known your mother, your father, your entire life and have very little love for them, and met somebody or a baby or a child or somebody that you just connected with and love them much deeper. Love is a very interesting thing. That's why in Islam, it lets you know you can't be equal with love. It says you'll never be able to be equal with love no matter how much you try. Okay, so, but it's not about the love and emotional part. It's about treating them well and being fair and just as best of your ability. Otherwise, just only marry one.
Yeah, just what you were saying that the time, it doesn't. I was thinking about different people. I'll say, siblings. I have a sibling. I have a particular sibling that I really don't speak to for the most part. Grew up together, everything like that, and it's just certain things. And I've known this sibling, I was just like for 40 years or something, maybe. And they're friends that I've known for 10. Love them more. Love them more. It is what it is. And it's, I don't know, some those who understand. Some people are like, oh, how dare you? That's family. No, it's my relative. Sometimes it's what it is. Sometimes you're just related to me by default. And sometimes, those who are not related to me are family. So, and that's where the love goes. So, but just knowing that, just when you said that about the time and things like that, sometimes people get that twisted, or even that they're blood related or something on the lines of that. It's like the position of the person determines the love that they should get, type of thing. And it's like,
yeah, no doubt.
Not really.
There's that, that expectation, that privilege, that feeling that they're superior.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? There's the entitlement.